My eyes crack open slowly, one and then the other. There's a heaviness that's settled behind them, and I squint as they adjust to the fluorescent lights hanging overhead. With a low groan, I manage to push myself up on my elbows, surveying my surroundings clumsily. A small room. Metal walls, a desk, 2 doors positioned opposite me. A couple of empty crates sit stacked in one corner, and overall, the room gives off the impression of being unused. No personal belongings, no decoration. It's all quite bare. I panic for a moment, my mind racing through all the possible reasons there could be to explain my being here in this place I don't recognize, with no memory of how I got here. Am I in a cell? I push myself into a sitting position, my body feeling like an entire building has fallen on it. The mattress beneath me, although soft enough to be comfortable, does nothing to soothe the ache that has settled in my muscles. My eyes flick over the small room once again, eyebrows dipping in confusion. There's something else. A whirring. I feel it almost as much as I hear it. Is the room moving? My breath sticks in my throat, panic and confusion rising in me like a wave. Where the hell am I? And why can't I remember anything? The door opposite me hisses and shifts, sliding back into the wall as it opens, and something in me turns defensive, pulls my knees up to my chest.
Oh, I didn't know you were awake.
The man that enters is so tall, his head almost touches the top of the door frame.
Apologies, I should have knocked.
He offers me a tight smile, and the metal chair beneath the desk scrapes across the floor as he pulls it out, sitting and leaning forward with his arms rested on his knees.
How are you feeling?
He looks at me expectantly, and though I refuse to let my guard down so easily, an answer escapes me anyway. I look the man over, from his gentle half-smile to his casual posture. My gaze falls nervously upon the pistols strapped to his body, but there's nothing in his demeanor that suggests he intends to use them. He certainly doesn't look like he's here to harm me. I think I'm fine. Thanks.
I'm glad to hear that.
His eyes squint when he smiles at me, and I find myself thinking there's something I like about them. Something warm.
I was worried about you after...
His eyes flicker a little, almost as though he would take back those words if he could. After what? The awkward silence that follows is noticeable, his hesitation hanging thick in the air. Something happened. Something big. And somehow, I can't remember what. Though even in the face of such uncertainty, one thing is abundantly clear. Whether I can trust the man in front of me or not, I need answers. Who are you, anyway? He hesitates, only a moment, before something unseen inside him shifts.
I'm June. The ship we're on is the Andromeda Six, the finest cruiser around, and my home. At least for the time being, anyway.
June pauses before saying any more, his brow furrowed in thought.
What can I call you?
I open my mouth to tell him, but stop short when no memory of my name surfaces. Who am I? I have a name. I feel it there on the tip of my tongue, but every time I reach out, it escapes me. Not sure. June frowns, and I can't keep the worry from bubbling up inside me. I should be able to remember something as simple as my own name. Closing my eyes, I try to coax the memory to the forefront of my mind. I can almost feel it on the tip of my tongue, and I know it's close, hidden behind the mist in my mind. Nothing. I can't remember. My throat tightens at the realization. Not knowing where I am is one thing, but not knowing my own name? All the names that cross my mind feel foreign, not one of them standing out as mine. Panic begins to crawl into my lungs, contracting my throat, leaving me gasping for breath.
Hey, don't panic. Look at me.
June pulls his chair closer to the bed, his eyes locked on mine. He takes a deep breath in through his nose, releasing it slowly through his mouth. With a hand, he gestures for me to do the same. After a few breaths, in and out, my muscles seem to unknot a little, reason returning to me.
Now, close your eyes. Relax, just keep breathing through it.
I'm hesitant, but I follow his instruction. Rolling my shoulders a little, I close my eyes and let out a deep, shuddering breath. I know my name. It's here. Somewhere.
Don't try to force it. Focus on clearing your mind, calming it. Let it come to you.
His voice washes over me like a balm, soothing and healing my fractured nerves. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Ever so slowly, my mind empties. The darkness it leaves behind like an endless abyss, waiting to be filled. After a few more moments, something clicks into place, like the download button in my brain has regained power once again. Trying to hold all other thoughts at bay, I part my lips and speak the one word that hangs like a neon light in the back of my mind. Nico. Nico. That's my name! A breath of fresh air washes through my lungs, my frustration from earlier receding a little. I try to push a little further, a last name, or even my home. But the more I try, the more the black hole of my memories sucks me into nothingness. Nothing comes to mind, not even the slightest inkling. I decide not to push it anymore for now. My first name will have to do. Slowly, I open my eyes again, a smile tugging at my lips as my eyes fall upon June and that contagious lopsided grin of his. I'm Nico. June grins wider, and it's one of those smiles that reaches his eyes, wrinkles the skin beside them.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Nico. Do you remember anything else?
I search my mind, every darkened crevice and corner, but come up short. No. June lets out a sigh, as if it burdens him to be the one to tell me whatever comes next.
There was an attack on the palace in Siltavi. We found you unconscious nearby. A bridge had collapsed. Well, it had been destroyed, actually. Our medic healed what she could, but we never expected memory loss to be a factor. Perhaps you lived around the area. Does any of this sound familiar to you?
I shake my head. I recall the city of Siltavi, capital of the planet Goldus, but did I live there? Do I have a life there, or a family waiting for me? My mind seems bathed in darkness, coming up blank with each attempt to remember my past. I'm sorry. I remember the city, but nothing past that. June ducks his head, thinking for a moment.
It could be some type of short-term memory loss. We'll have our medic look over you again. If you remember where you're from, we can help you get back there. There must be someone waiting for you.
There isn't. The words leave my mouth before I can stop them, but somehow, I know it's true. And even if it wasn't, what good would it be if I can't even remember them? June shifts in his chair, but I cut in before he has the chance to say more. All I know right now is my name. I have you to thank for that. It's a start, right? I chew on my bottom lip anxiously, feeling his eyes flicker over me. I know the thought of forgetting everything should be terrifying, but for some reason, I feel calm, at peace with whatever's happened to me. I don't know. Maybe it's a sign, an opportunity for me to make a fresh start. I still want to remember something, anything, but I could be on the run for all I know. Exiled even. Better to avoid that kind of trouble, don't you think? An uneasiness settles in my stomach, and I think that perhaps I'm more shaken up than I've let on. The only consolation is that June seems to be even more concerned than I am. His eyes go wide at my words, and I can practically feel the concern dripping from him.
I'm sorry. We should get you to the medic. She'll be able to help you far better than I can. She's Talari. Perhaps you remember their reputation?
Indeed, Talari are exceptional healers, though I can't recall ever meeting any of this species before. June offers his hand to help me stand, and when I take it, his skin is surprisingly warm, a stark contrast to the cold metal walls of the room around us. Despite the roughness of his skin, the calluses on his fingers, his touch is gentle. For a moment, I think I'm okay to stand on my own, but when I let go of his hand, my legs buckle beneath me. Letting out a yelp, I'm hit with the sense of falling for only a split second before a strong arm wraps around my waist, holding me up.
Nico! Are you alright?
June is close. Very close. A warm flush creeps up the back of my neck, and I find myself falling into deep gray eyes. Nice catch. Nice catch. Wow, Nico, seriously?
Nice catch. I've never heard that one before.
June laughs, and the sound of it only makes my face flush a deeper shade of red. Sorry.
Don't be. That blush looks good on you.
If I had thought my cheeks were hot before, now they're straight up burning. I don't think I could string a proper sentence together even if I tried. Luckily, June flushes too, and I'm relieved knowing I'm not the only one. Helping me steady myself, his hands linger on my waist a second or two longer than they need to. But the way my stomach flitters in response makes me realize that maybe I don't mind that after all. I'm cut short when the lights above us blink a couple of times and the ship lurches, prompting June to steady me with a hand on my arm once again. What was that?
Just technical issues.
What kind of technical issues? Last thing I need is to be stranded on a broken starship with no memory. One crisis at a time. Thank you very much. June smiles at me reassuringly.
Nothing to worry about. Come on, I'll show you the infirmary on my way out.
I follow behind June down a couple of corridors. The ship isn't massive by any means, but it certainly seems bigger than I expected. When he stops in front of a set of blue, transparent double doors, he turns to me.
This is where I leave you. I should probably get to the bridge before all hell breaks loose.
The alarm must show on my face because he shakes his head and chuckles softly.
Nothing to worry about. Now head on in. Riona will take care of you.
Thank you, June. He stops and gives me a strange look, his eyes wide. But just as quickly, he smiles gently and nods, before disappearing down the corridor.